What's up, everybody? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so I don't know how long this video gonna be, but I want to point out the different types of black men that you probably gonna meet online and offline, and this is based off that OnlyFans chick who took out her boyfriend, right? So I want to make it a point. I want to make it clear that there's different types of black men, and you have to know which black men you are. But these are the different types of black men that are the super negative ones right here. And they are the wang at maintaining these women overall. So you got BBC can fix all the problems. So these are the men who slang down low, who think that, not slang down low, you know what I'm trying to say, who got the big package, the Magnum Team Magnum men who think that they can sleep their way to power. They think that they can have sex with powerful women and have sex with people with jobs or super careers, and it means that once they sleep with the women, they get the same kind of status. So they get a more better status than the guys who don't get it. This is why you got a lot of dudes who bragging about sleeping with lawyers and doctors and dentists and stuff, and they getting little cheap shots. I mean, cheap whatever, but they don't understand that to these women, they're basically human dildos. They're fun for the time being, but after a while, these chicks move on. That's what happens to the guy that got killed by his OnlyFans girlfriend. He thought that his BBC was gonna basically control an out of control woman, just like these dudes think game and swag and telling them women that they tell them what they want to hear is gonna fix something. But mainly it's the dudes who think that their sex is gonna make a woman behave. Then these are the same women who put them on child support. These are the same women who get them killed. These are the same women who say they ain't shit. These are the same women who say all these different things. They don't stop them from saying all this stuff, but somehow, some way, they want to act like sex is gonna make women control and heal. But they've been trying to do this for 60 or 70 years. 60 or 70 years they've been trying this shit with their dick size, and it didn't work. And they continue to think that just because a woman wants them around. See, what they don't understand is that a chick only has them around for their size because she thinks she has a toy that she doesn't want other women to have. Right? Some women will brag about having the fact that they sharing a guy. But a lot of these women think they got a rare toy. So, did you ever seen or when you was a kid, somebody ever gave your toy away and then you didn't like the toy anymore. And then when the toy was given away, you want the toy back and you miss the toy and you miss playing with it even though you the one that threw it away. That's how black women are. This is the reason why the black women, or should I say the B-dubs, don't like when black dudes go to other races. They think that your penis size, because they told you that your penis size matters, that you should basically stick with them because they told you that that's what you're only good for. But they still tell you you ain't shit, and they don't want you to go anywhere else. You see it online, you see it in adult entertainment where the women are complaining about the guys being used and this and that, but they do the same thing. They just want you to be their toy so they can throw you out. And so they can use you whenever they want you. Right? But then it gives these guys a big ego to think that they can do this in every single culture to every single woman. that women don't master the fact that they can disconnect from the pleasure and then toss them to the side. They don't understand that half of these dudes are backdoor dudes. They would never be caught in front of their parents, their family with these guys. Because then their family might disown them and get them and be like, oh, we don't want to deal with you no more. So you have a lot of dudes who think that the BBC is going to fix all their problems. And then once they find out they're replaceable, that's when they start taking out the woman. This is when they start going crazy. This is when they start beating up people. This is when they start doing a lot of things. So a lot of adult film stars, especially the black ones, understand this more clearly, that they can be replaced. And you're not getting paid more money than other people because other people are more marketable than you. Your woman doesn't really support you when you're in the adult industry. Do you really think that black women are buying black porn? I mean, black adult entertainment for black men when they can get it in the streets? No, it's other races of women who have curiosities and fantasies. But 9 times out of 10, it's a stigma for dealing with black dudes. And when they do deal with the so-called black dudes who beg down there, they find out real fast that these dudes ain't worth messing with. And sometimes their friends let them know what type of men who have these packages and tell them not to deal with them at all. I had a female friend who worked at a hospital who told me how many injuries females had dealing with certain guys. And she said, why is nobody out here telling these women that if they're not prepared for this kind of stuff, they're going to be wandering around injured all the time? And this is the reason why a lot of females, even in the adult industry, they take a break from the adult industry because they sore and they stuff is messed up. But nobody talks about that. They all think that every woman loves the BBC. And it gives them insecurity issues like a female, that if women don't want to deal with them, then they must be racist. Or women don't want to, then they call Dodger. You should see the kind of insecurities that these dudes have on adult entertainment sites. I got my original page blocked on one of these sites, on these forums, because I told the truth. It hurt their feelings. I'm like, wait, you're the guys who get so much ass and all this other stuff and this and this and that, and you got the biggest stick and every woman wants you, but your life don't reflect that. You need to bring more to the table than that with other races of women. That's just a plus. And sometimes that's not even a thing because some women are like, no, I don't want it. Well, a lot of women are living in this fantasy, and a lot of dudes that somehow think that every woman wants that. That's the reason why they can't stand to see men they think is losers get women. Or the white guys who are smaller than them get all the women, right? The guys in Ghetto Gaggers, the white guys who perform, they're mad at these guys. So you have a lot of men out here who think that sex is the key to being successful. This is the reason why these dudes are always talking about monetizing and cashing in on their adult entertainment. But the fact is, you have to be humble. The white dudes are banging thousands and thousands of women, but they don't throw it in the guy's face. They don't. Tell me the last time when you ever heard a white dude bragging, a white adult film star bragging on the fact that he get a whole bunch of black chicks and he get more than this guy. See, this is the reason why black adult entertainment always fails, because they shoot cheap. From what I understand, is they try to gag females out of money. They try to gag females out of money. They don't know how to operate straight in, and they don't pay the girls what they worth. This is the reason why the women go to the white guys are willing to pay a lot of money because they willing to get investments. The black dudes, the black companies, they act like these women ain't worth nothing. That's the reason why the adult industry, the black side of the adult industry, closed down, because they wasn't paying a lot of these women a lot of money. But the white guys would pay for a chick for 5,000, 6,000, even almost $8,000 a scene, because they knew how important it was. They kept they pulse to the fan base. They kept they pulse to the numbers. But the black side think that they could just put out any type of thing and back shots and all this other. It's technical, and this is the reason why the BBC dudes always fail. These dudes have not got any real power, and they don't even control 90% of the women, let alone 50% of the women. They probably control about 10 or 15 of these ratchets. The race hustlers. So you got a lot of guys that you probably gonna run into online who will hustle this race stuff. Who hustle this race stuff who hustle this race stuff, and they get everybody in a bunch. And the whole point of these race hustlers is they're appeasing the controlled men who control by women, and they control the women. And when you control the women, you control the men. The race hustlers are always there. You know, O'Shea Duke Jackson, Tariq Nasheed. These guys are always promoting something for somehow black power, black race, to get money out of people. That's who the people you're gonna run into. And the people who are talking this pro-black stuff, they always want something. They always trying to get an angle. They're some of the most dangerous people out here as well, because they can rally up different things. Same thing with what the government does. They're race hustlers as well. Spies. So you have a lot of people who was acting like they were SYSBM. They were acting like they were MGTOW. They were acting like they was anything, and they were on the same side. You know, back in 2020 when DJ Kuda was allowing certain people on his platform that wasn't game dudes, um, he was hanging out with guys in SYSBM. He wasn't saying anything that he's saying right now. He wasn't talking about the game. He wasn't doing all that. So it was a cool chill spot until he brung in the game guys, right? He was a spy. You have a lot of black dudes who are spies. Who's a spy, and their whole point is to get in any type of situation. They get in type of any group, go back and tell whoever they need to tell, and mess up your whole entire group. These spy black men are dangerous because they have the biggest mouths. They got the biggest mouths, and my bad. I'm just seeing this what is this? This quarterback, this NFL quarterback lost his life at 24. This is the same dude who had the problems with his girlfriend punching him in the face or something like that, right? And knocked his teeth out. Yeah, this is a story from like what, 2000 and I forgot what year it was from. Was it last year? That was a lot of stuff happened. So you have a lot of spies, right? Their whole point is to infiltrate any place they think is a threat to the status quo, and then go back and then try to tell, try to tell the people who are against you how to destroy you, and tell them your plan. That's what their whole point is, and the whole point is infiltration, super infiltration on their part to try to get to know and try to counter what you're saying, right, or what you're doing. So you have the infected, zombies, and mudmen, right? So a lot of black men take it to heart when other races don't want them in their culture, and they're really like hostile to black men in other cultures, because they are afraid that you're going to affect they're afraid that you're going to affect that they're going to affect you're going to bring the function that you're having in your community to their community. So they view you as an infected, a zombie, or a mudman. They think that you're going to affect their culture, even if it's one guy, and you're gonna be sitting here saying certain things to a kid, or somebody gonna look up to you, and you're gonna give the bad advice. See, I don't think a lot of people are racist. I think they don't want this kind of stuff in their culture, and they're willing to pretty much get the race. They willing to take on the racist card, or the racist to they wanted to have people think they're racist in order to protect their culture and to protect their people from the infected. Don't you understand that this is what they do too? Look what happened with the manosphere, Black Manosphere. You let too many of these. I could go back to my video, Herschel's Farm. Remember that? Remember my video, Herschel's Farm, and it was too many of them, and that's what happened to the Black Manosphere. Well, I was absolutely right. Now you got dudes talking about co-wedding in the manosphere. You got women on panels and stuff. You got women channels popping up. Women are talking trash about dudes in the space, saying it's dangerous. This is why a lot of other races of men don't want black men in their culture, because black men let women run amok, and black men always have to include women in uh important things, right? They don't want the infected to come into their environment. If you play Dying Light, right? Dying Light, it has a lore in it, right? Where when you get infected, you have to wear a marker on your wrist to show you how infected you really are, so you don't go and infect everybody else. So it's kind of like that, where some people don't know that you are infected, and you're not the type of person, you're not the black guy that they see on TV, or dysfunctional and stuff. And this is why it's important to, like, I ain't gonna say prove yourself, but show that you're not an infected. And that's how you do that, is the way you talk, how you carry yourself, and you have to convince them that you're not infected at all. In the beginning of Dying Light, the main character was infected, and he nearly got killed and hanged in the place, because he could have infected everybody in the whole place and destroyed their peace and tranquility, right? It's like on The Walking Dead. Why would you let a zombie in there and let it bite somebody, and then everybody's gonna be a zombie? Why would you drink infected water? These people, you can't let just one person in. You can't let two of them in, because if you let two of them in, you're going to let three of them in. If you let three of them in, you're going to let four of them in. This is what happened. O'Shea started letting all these different zombies in here, from Ramil Lemaire to Mr. Fantastic and all these other different people. And after O'Shea pretty much said F you to the manosphere, then they start saying F you to the manosphere, because he was the zombie hoarder. You know how many people that I seen in the past year who was pro manosphere, now they not part of the manosphere and their numbers got slashed down? Their viewing numbers got slashed down entirely because they're not manosphere dudes, black manosphere dudes. You turned on a whole space that you was saying that you was part of and you cared about, but now you're not. Like I said, there's a lot of guys who are spies, who are infected. These are the type of black men that you have to watch out for. The guys that you feel like they will try to infect you with their dysfunction. And once they infect you with that dysfunction, it's going to be hard to get it off of you. The attack dogs. So black men, a lot of black men are born and raised to be the black woman's attack dog. They will attack anybody and everybody that black women tell them to do. You know, you have the black China doll, whatever her name was. That situation where she was on Fresh and Fit, then a month later they started attacking her again. You had the situation with Will and Jada. They attacked everybody and said that he was protecting his wife, and now she coming out saying that she didn't want to marry Will, and she basically dissing him, and it makes them all look stupid. But the fact is that you have a never ending of black men attack dogs. These are obedient men who get vagina as a doggy treat, or they just get the praise of black women. They don't get anything at all, and they attack anybody who talk down to black women. Anybody. They will be the type of people who are not logical, they're emotional, and they just attack anybody they think black women need, that are going after black women. So you got number 6, the bodyguard black men. That these are the guys who guard the honor of black women no matter what. What? How? How did a football quarterback get hit by a dump truck? That don't sound right. Dwayne Huskin. How did a football player get struck by a dump truck? Was he running in the middle of the street? I don't believe this story, man. This doesn't. Okay. No, I'm gonna go back to the video. Number 6. You have a lot of dudes who are bodyguards for these women, and they will guard them with their life. They will be forever guardmen to these women honor. Oh yeah, you don't talk about them, I'm gonna beat you up. Don't ever talk about them. This and this and that. Number 7. You're gonna run into, and hopefully you don't run into them in real life, the assassins back men. These are the guys who black women use to take the life of other black men, white men, anybody who they think they deemed to go after. These are the guys who will go to the jail. Well, these guys are filled up in jail going after men. There was a man who got killed in a Waffle House when he was giving away free food to everybody. He didn't give free food to he didn't give free food to a black woman. She got mad and sicked her attack dog slash assassin on this guy and killed him because he didn't want to spend his money on her. See, they have an army of these guys. This is why it's very dangerous to have these people around you, because you don't know who is what. This is why these dudes telling you to catch a flight and all this different stuff, and just silly stuff. So let's performers and entertainers. So as long as you are a performer and entertainer and you're doing it towards, quote unquote, for the culture, then they like you. Even if it hurts you, you got to be the funny guy. You have to make them laugh. You have to be a performer entertainer until the day you die. They want to run you ragged. You have to always be funny. You always have to be telling jokes. You always have to be the life of the party for them and only them. That's what they want. And you're going to go back and pretty much you are their performing monkey. You are a performing entertainer. This is why they put an emphasis on rappers and athletes and club promoters, because they constantly have to be entertained by you. This is why they don't put emphasis on working men, doctors, lawyers, and any type of people like that. They take the credit for themselves so they can feel better than you, but you have to stay in one place and be that one trick pony and be a entertainer and dance around in videos and doing all this crazy stuff, because that's what they think that you belong at. You're constantly their entertainment forever. That's what they want you to be. And that's what you're going to see. You're going to run into those particular type of black men that are just entertainers. This is why they will joke on you. This is why they will try to make a mockery of you and make fun of you all the time, because they dare to entertain her. That's what his role really is. So, the sex slaves. So, you got black men who will brag about how much they get it and how they make a woman wiggly and all this other stuff. And pretty much these are the guys who are slaves to these women. They're human dildos. They're different from the guys, the BBC dudes, who think that they can control everything with their size. These are the guys who basically benefit the woman and the woman only. These are the guys who don't get great sex, but they give great sex. This is the thing. The women don't have to perform well in bed. It's only on the men to perform well. This is a reason why other races of men don't compliment the women on their phenomenal sex skills. This is why you don't see these guys. You don't see rich Chinese men, Arab men, wifing these females up and taking them back to their country. You don't see that. You see them just having sex with them, but it's low quality. It's not high quality. The high quality women, they put effort in it. But these are the women who, these are the guys who are, they're the main sex slaves. You know how? I remember, and I showed y'all that screenshot of when a guy told me that I should hang myself with nylon wire because I don't satisfy women, because I'm useless. That's what made me think, like, wow, they really think that you're supposed to just be here for her. So this is the sex slaves. You're gonna run into these guys who brag about them getting so much vagina and how they make women moan and making women crazy and all this other stuff. Martyrs. You got black men who would give their life in order to be a martyr for black women. George Floyd was a martyr for black women. Alive George Floyd would have never, most black women would have never dated him, would have never lived around him, and would have never trust him around their kids or never trust him around anything. But this black man got killed by a cop and he became a martyr for them to make money off of, for them to get contracts out of other people, you know, the adult film stars and the adult film stars who who made who turned themselves into contract girls for a racist company. Now they so-called Miss Pro Black, but they, you know, burnt their bridges with a lot of people then. Um, you know, Dami Sutra, when she was on her Pro Black rant 2 years ago, and then she got basically half of the black dudes in the industry don't want to shoot with her because she messed up their money. You're gonna become a martyr. This is what they want. They want to shell out martyrs because a live person, a person who's alive, could destroy their narrative, but a dead person can't. He can't speak for himself, and you can make any narrative you want. And you look what happened with Black Lives Matter. They got all that money, they got all that support, and then they left everybody into the dust. Everybody who supported them. That's their fault. That's on them. Geeky, haha. They took the money and left. So you're gonna find a lot more martyr black men out here. Pet black men. You got a lot of guys who are just black women's pet. They don't get any treat. They just get pat on the head. These are the guys who call black women gods. These are the men who they're basically their life is basically a pet to black women. Unconditional love no matter what. So you're gonna run into fashionistas. Black men who all about fashion, and they're all about dressing nice and showing who they are. They always have to be seen and heard. They always have to come in with the Jordans and being fresh to death and, you know, all this. There's a lot of them around. A lot of black men who's are fashionistics. And that's the archetype of a lot of these black dudes. Walking, talking examples. So a lot of them have produced a lot of examples that they can use in order to make themselves victims. So you got the narrative of, you know, the whole black men leave. They've been saying this for years and they continue to keep saying this. Oh, black men leave their kids and they disrespect them and stuff like that. But they get with these guys on purpose in order to make these guys examples so they can make themselves always be right. And they always put themselves in a victim role by picking these guys and shelling them out. Also, they also create them as well. They create these type of guys so they can continue to say the things over and over again. And the narrative will never change because they will mass produce them at a large number. So these guys, the walking examples, the drug dealers, the pimps, all these other peoples, the rappers, all of them, they have to have these examples so you can be drowned out. And no amount of you having kids will drown them out, because the fact is, like a dumb LAR movement said, your kids are not going to be around their kids. Bill Gates won't never have his kid around trailer park trash. He would never have raised his kids around trailer park trash. He's not going to have 15 kids because he's a smart, intelligent man and he has to outbreed the dumb people. He could have 1 or 2 kids that's worth 20. But you're going to see a lot of black men who are walking examples, and they're there to keep people in power and keep their narrative going. The babysitters. These are the guys who pick up the tab for other men. These are the guys who are the glorified Russell Wilsons. They're the glorified Russell Wilsons of the community. And you are the babysitter. You don't get paid for babysitting her kids. All you get is a pat on the back and say you're a good man because you're taking care of her kids that she went out and had. But you get to take care of the kids without the fun. And you get to take care of the kids while she go out and have fun. One of my old friends, his girl was getting plowed behind his back while he was watching the kids. And he had the nerve to say that I was a child, or I was not mature, whatever he was trying to say, because I don't have a girlfriend. And then I proved to him and said, hey man, you the one to have your girlfriend out here being plowed by other men, and you out there watching her kids. So, glorified babysitters. We got a lot of black men who like that. Number 15, you got the chaos men. I mean, the fixers. So, you got a lot of guys who they live their whole life fixing black women's problems and fixing the community problems. And they think that you should do the same thing like them. And if you don't, you're a loser, or you're something, whatever they make up. Whatever they make up, that you're this, you're that, right? They're there just to fix the problems and brag about being used. You know, these the community eunuch dudes. You know, the Obsidians and all these other people. You know, Obsidian, he brung his lady friend now on YouTube now. You know, somebody told me that I found out that Tony Maceo is married to Nicole Michelle. So this is the same dude who was telling people to 25 or whatever he was talking about, but he ended up marrying a failed femininity coach. And it proved to me that a lot of these dudes were just waiting for certain women to come in space so they can pick them up. You know, Cerulean Gray, he ended up marrying I forgot her name. There's another chick that was on Angry Man's side. She ended up going with somebody from YouTube. You know, you had Neon Eyes go through 3 guys into space. She went through Rude, Game Changer, and Grandmaster Troll. Like, the black manosphere now turned into some kind of dating for failed women. It become like a pickup plant for failed women to come in and take whoever they want. Um, Number 16 that I didn't write down, but I'm thinking of it now. You have chaos men, right? You got the men who are pretty much chaos, and they're here to just mess everything up, right? They're here to destroy anything and everything. And that's their role. That's the role that black women created for them to do. They dare to cause havoc, violence, and everything else, and then they can point at this one guy and then say y'all all like that. They never let any space be free of it. All right, these are the, and that's in. Let me see. You have number 17. You have the financial slaves. You know, G. Lowry. What is his name? G. Lowry or whatever his name is. G. Whatever. G. Dizzle. Right. G. Dizzle. I remember one live stream he had, and someone said that he was basically expressing that he made a mistake getting married or something like that, and he made a live going in his house, and his wife was like wearing some kind of expensive stuff, but she wasn't really that attractive. And I'm looking at this dude and he's really miserable, but he's bragging about him being in IT and all this other stuff, and I'm looking at him like, you don't look like a happy dude. And he expressed that he didn't want to be married sometimes, but he took that video down. And it made me think that you got a lot of black dudes that are slaves, financial slaves to women, catering to anything they want. And these dudes try to make you do the same thing. Number, let me see. That was 16, 17, 18 is the I'm better than you guys. So black men, the reason why a lot of people don't like being around black men is because they never stop bragging if they're better than you. Oh, I got the black man got the biggest this. Oh, black men got the biggest style. Oh yeah, man, yeah, blah blah blah, and it never stops. Imagine if Bill Gates or any rich successful man come around and they're just kind of always bragging. Yeah, man, I got more money than you. Yeah, man, I run more companies than you guys. It'll be an entire turnoff, and it makes them unhumble. But the fact is, this is what the black women produce is the I'm better than you type guys, and they constantly have to tell you that they better than you, right? Some people told me that they rather learn IT and everything else from a white guy or an Indian guy or anybody from another race than a black guy, because when you learn from a black person, they try to talk down to you all the time. And I seen it. Erica Williams, she is on a high level financial position, but she goes in and try to tell black men this and this and that, talking shit about them, and oh yeah, man, you need to do this. Y'all guys don't know this and this and this and that. While she's kind of overweight. Okay, she got the financial going on, but when Obsidian introduced her, she went in on black dudes. Oh, black men are this and this and that. She always had to feel like she better than you and always had to talk down to you and stuff. It's like, how can I learn from somebody who like this? Like, it's a turn off. Like, nah, man, I'm not. Your information, I don't want to turn into you, and it makes your information tainted, because if I'm learning from you, then I think that I'm gonna pick some of your kind of qualities up. You know, MOT. he's reasonable. You could learn from MOT because he's not out there. The way he talks about things, he's not out there trying to shit on you. He's trying to make you better. And he tells you straight away, hey, if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. I'm only going to tell you once. You know, a guy like Ty City, he constantly trying to trash you and do all that. But he wondered why black men, older black men, kept their, contracts? Because the older black men knew how to maintain relationships with everybody else. You can't go around talking trash and, yeah, man, I'm better than you. And oh, yeah, man, you hoes are winning. Dude, these guys don't know what they talking about. Ha, 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 ha. You got to come up with some humbleness. Even the mob dudes who were arrogant and they were arrogant to each other, but they were actually humble to everybody else. They were charming. They had people who would get a not attracted, but what kind of said you get they would be drawn to these people with their charisma. It's that's what white people have. They have this welcoming charisma to them that y'all need to produce. This is the reason why a lot of black people don't want to be a part of the black society, black culture, because it's always braggadocious, always, oh man, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, or I know more than you. You don't know nothing. You need to learn from me. Y'all need to do better. Blah blah. No, 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 no. You don't supposed to do that. White guys are like, hey pal, you know, I you have to learn like this because you don't want to be like this and blah blah blah. Then you got the Asian people who, oh yeah, and they're more presentable. It's a technique. It's a technique in the teaching people and making people do better. Black people didn't master that in all these many years. And nobody wants to be around I'm better than you type dudes. They don't want to be around them. And this is what the types of black men are out here. I'm better than you all the time. Yeah, that's about it, man. So you're gonna run into these type of black men, and I might make the better side of black men. I think I already did that a couple years ago. I probably might update it, but these are the black men that you're probably gonna run into. A lot of them are like this. You're gonna run into all these different type of archetypes, and I might have forgot a couple of them, but look, man, this in real life, offline, you're gonna run into these type of people, these type of black men. But it goes for the black women as well. But the black women are different ones. They're different archetypes. Whoa, way different. But these are images of what they created. So yeah, let me get this off.